So, ladies and gentlemen, after that crazy turn of events during the weekend where Barcelona ended up getting back to the top of the table, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in a position now where we are where we wanted to be. We are back in our rightful place at the top of the table. But unfortunately for us, the games don't stop and we are already back in another La Liga game. And brother, this is one of the biggest of the season. One of the biggest games of the season. It is Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. And this is going to be a huge game. The biggest test for Barcelona now to see what this team is capable of and if we're actually serious in trying to retain our title against an Atletico Madrid team that are in the form of their lives. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the match preview of the Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid game, where I'm going to be talking about everything from basically the forms coming in from both teams, guys, the table, basically also, guys, the press conference. I'm going to be reacting to some of these stuff that the manager said. We're going to get into that, predicted scoreline and predicted lineups. So if you guys like that, y'all know what to do. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let's get this preview started. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, round 19 of the La Liga season, Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid at the Camp Nou. It's going to be starting on Tuesday, guys, 3 p.m. local time. For those of us guys who live here in the Atlanta side, the game will start at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of the people who live in the UK times, guys, for those guys, it's going to start at 8 p.m. and for other sides of the world. But as far as these two teams is concerned, guys, take a look at that. Barcelona are now top of the table. We are now on top, but we are only on top with 1 point. As you can see here, guys, the top 4 right now is absolutely insane, guys. So many good games. Anything can happen during this run in the league, guys, especially in the next 2 days, because Real Madrid will be taking on Athletic Bilbao, and that could be a potential banana skin for them. We could see what's going to happen in that game. But as you can see, first versus fourth, 3 points is between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. And listen, if you look at both of these teams' forms, guys, before we get into that, look at our home record against Atletico Madrid. It is beautiful, right? We haven't lost to Atletico Madrid at the Camp Nou since 2007. That's how long it's been, right? We've had a crazy record. We've had a few, we've had a few draws here and there, but really, we've been very good against them. We've had a lot of few wins, but like I mentioned, this game is going to be big. And if you look at Atletico Madrid, they are in the form of their lives, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this. Look at this form, guys. Look at their league form, right? This is obviously, I'm not going to count the Champions League. Their league form, guys, the last time they even dropped points in the league, look at this. It was against Celta de Vigo on October 5th. October 5th was the last time these guys dropped any points in the league. Right? The last time they actually lost a game, you have to go all the way back at the start of the season when they lost to Espanyol. Espanyol was the last time these guys lost a game, and that was on August 17th. So right now, to say that Atletico Madrid are in the form of their lives, it would be a massive understatement. This is a big test for Barcelona, and when you look at Atletico Madrid in the form that they're in, they're gonna fancy themselves, because here's the thing, Barcelona and Real Madrid, they have not been consistent enough. There's a reason why the table looks like that, right? Barcelona and Real Madrid have not been consistent enough, right? And Atletico Madrid, it's in these kinds of inconsistencies that when Barcelona and Madrid are in, where Atletico usually take advantage and they run away and take the league, right? And as you can see, only 3 points is between Barca and Atletico Madrid, 3 points away from being in the conversation in the title race. And if they beat us at the Camp Nou, then ladies and gentlemen, this title race is gonna go absolutely insane. Now, Hansi Flick had a lot of things that he said during the press conference, and I'm not going to react to everything he said in it. I'm going to talk about the few things that, keynotes that I took away from the press conference. And basically, first thing that they did ask him was basically the match against Atleti as the league leaders, and his response was, it's always important to be leaders, but we have had many injured players. We have to know how to manage that now that we are top of the table. We don't look for excuses. We just want to give our best. Our objective is to win this big match. And here's the thing, right? This game against Atletico Madrid is probably the fittest our team has been. I know we still have injuries, yes. But to be honest with you, we have been poor in big games. So I see what he's saying, but also it's like, at the end of the day, I don't know what to really think about this, right? Because at the end of the day, he's saying he's not going to give excuses, right? But at the end of the day, it does sound a little bit like excuses. And I get it, right? We have had injury issues here and there, right? For me, I look at the team right now. Rafinha has been playing, he's played in the last 3 games. Rashford is back. Omo is back, right? Lewandowski is back. Even in our team, right? The only players I would say who's deeply affecting us, who's injured, is Firmino, because Pedri is also back. De Jong is back in this game. So it's going to look, at the end of the day, I still think that we have too good of a team, right, to really talk about the injury stuff. And I get it, right? But for me, I don't think injuries is the biggest thing that I'm going to take out of this. Now, another interesting thing that the journalists, they did ask him during the press conference was about basically him, being ready for the competition or the pressure right now at Barcelona. Because if you guys saw my video and if you guys seen the footage that's been going viral on social media of, Flick, his reactions after the game against Alavés, when Rafinha went to console him. They asked him, right? He reaffirms that he's ready to face whatever is thrown at him. And basically, this is what he basically said, right? He said, there's nothing more into it, basically the Rafinha situation, and said, I'm strong enough to face anything that happens this season and in the club. I'm happy to be here. Now, I feel like, the reason he's saying that is because for a lot of people, they were looking at that and they were thinking, is he beginning to feel the pressure of the job now? Is he beginning to question himself? And all of those things, right? Because, he's not, he's been getting a lot of criticism from the fans. And, he's not been happy himself with some of the decisions. But like I mentioned, I'm glad to hear that, he's got the same mindset. But we will see what happens. And listen, I just hope that at the end of the day, he does believe everything he's saying. He's not just saying it for the media's sake, right? But I do believe that, at the end of the day, sometimes it's just one of those things where you can get frustrated, but you don't give up. It is one of those things. Now, they also asked him, and this is the important thing, they asked him about Rafinha and Araujo, right, during this press conference. And basically, he said, we will see tomorrow. He said, Rafinha only did roundos, then left. He can play 90 minutes, but we will see what happens. And as far as Araujo is concerned, he said, Araujo is not ready. It's a private situation. I ask you to respect that. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to talk too much about the Araujo thing. Now, with the Rafinha thing, I still think Rafinha will start tomorrow. I think Rafinha will be playing tomorrow. Will he play 90 minutes? Probably not, because, Rashford is there. Ferran Torres is there. There's, a lot of our attackers are there. So he would probably most likely start in the game, right? And, I'm not sure about that. Basically, the club is kind of taking their time with him because he's just come back from a long-term injury. So they're not trying to force it. But I do believe he's going to play in this game. And as far as the Araujo situation is concerned, I will talk about that on another video. But as far as this whole situation is concerned, Araujo, they say Flick has come out and he said it's not just, an injury thing, it's private stuff, it's mental stuff. And basically, he's been talking about how basically he's asked for a break. His agent, we know, was talking to Deco. And basically right now, he seems to not be in the right mental state right now to be on the pitch, which is unfortunate, right? Because at the end of the day, I support mental health and all that, but bruv, this is Barcelona. Unfortunately, the pressure is not going to get any better, right? If this is breaking you, then I'm sorry to tell you, man, this is probably not going to be the club for you because this club breaks people. So, and it's one of those things. It's a very big club. Even Madrid is the same thing. So, yeah. And now, this is another thing he was also asked during the press conference. They asked him about Pedri as well. And I was glad to hear this. He basically said that Pedri is fit and is an option to start. Now, I do believe that Pedri will start in this game. I do believe for sure that he will start in this game. And for me, I think that if we have any shot of winning, he needs to start alongside De Jong. Because the Casado, Bernat, I really don't want to see these two in this game. I want to see the De Jong Pedri partnership alongside Olmo in this one. So I do believe that he's most likely going to start with that. And hopefully we will see that. He was also asked about Joan Garcia, right? One of the reporters, they asked him if Joan Garcia was the best goalkeeper he'd ever coached. And basically his response was quite surprising. He said, it's not an easy question because I've coached Neuer and Ter Stegen, two great goalkeepers. Joan has a lot of future ahead. I, from the first day, saw his potential. He has a lot of quality as a goalkeeper with his feet. He's fast, he has dynamic. His signing was the right decision because in the coming years, he will give us security. Now, even though, he decided to put Ter Stegen in this conversation, it's great. That's actually insane. Listen, Joan Garcia definitely has been the signing of the season. No doubt about it. And he's going to be integral in our game against Atletico Madrid. 100%, right? If we're actually serious about trying to win against Atletico Madrid, he needs to be in his bag because we have issues, right? If you look at their team, Alvarez is on form, but also Alexander Soloth. This brother loves to score against my club. So we will see what happens with that for sure. And now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, we go into my predicted starting 11 for this game. And I'm going with the strongest lineup that I think is available for this game against Atletico Madrid, because this is a must-win game and we need to make sure we go strong from the start. So I'm going with the traditional 4-2-3-1 formation with Joan Garcia in goal. I am putting Christensen in this defense because we need him. We need him to play in this game because Kobashi and Martin, as good as Martin was against Alavés, I don't know, man. I don't trust him in this game, right? So for me, I'll play Christensen and Kobashi because Kobashi always starts, right? And Alejandro Balde at the left back position. Eric Garcia stays in the right back position. Pedri in the midfield alongside Frankie de Jong, Dani Olmo sitting in the 10. Rafinha on the left, Lamine Yamal on the right, and Robert Lewandowski stays in the attack. And for me, I think if we play this lineup, I think that we have a strong chance of winning this game against Atletico Madrid, which is crucial to our title race. And for me, we need to step up and get this win. As far as my prediction in scoreline is concerned, I'm going to go confident. I don't think we're going to win big because Atletico Madrid are in form, but I am going to go for Barcelona 2, Atletico Madrid 1. Let's get this win. It's about time we get our first big win against a big team this season, and it will go a long way to showing how serious we are in actually retaining our league title. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya, and peace. Take care.